Polygons. So we're going to look at the sum of interior angles of a polygon, how to find the measure of the interior angle of a regular polygon, and the sum of the exterior angles of a polygon, and finding the measure of an exterior angle of a polygon. So we're going to take a look at a formula, and the formula is the sum of the interior angles of a polygon. This is the formula that you would use. So S is going to represent the sum of all of the interior angles. N is going to represent the number of sides of that particular polygon. You're going to subtract 2 and then multiply it times 180. Now, the N minus 2 actually gives us the number of triangles that can be drawn within the polygon. And that's why we're multiplying by 180, because 180 is the sum of the angles of a triangle. So let's take a look at number 1. If we wanted to find the sum of the angles of a triangle, we would write the formula S is equal to n minus 2 times 180. Now, commutative property allows us to write 180 times n minus 2. And then we're going to fill in. There are 3 sides to the triangle. So 180 times 1 gives us 180, which we know that all the angles of a triangle will always equal 180. What about a square? Again, the sum is equal to n minus 2 times 180. Commutative property allows me to move the 180 to the front. 180 times 4 minus 2, there are 4 sides in a square. So 180 times 2 is going to give us 360. So the sum of all the angles of a square is going to equal 360. Now, if we want to find the actual measure of an interior angle, we can do that with this formula. Of course, the polygon is going to have to be regular, which means that all sides are going to be equal. But if we want to know the measure of just one angle of that polygon, we're going to take the sum of all of the angles and divide it by the number of sides. So if we have a regular pentagon and we want to know the measure of that angle of a pentagon, we're going to take 180 times 5 minus 2, there's 5 sides in a pentagon, and then we're going to divide that sum by 5. So 180 times 3 divided by 5 . 540 divided by 5 gives us 108. So the measure of the 5 angles in a pentagon, each one of those angles would be 108. Let's look at a hexagon. A hexagon has 6 sides. So this is going to be 180 times 6 minus 2 divided by 6. 180 times 4 divided by 6. 720 divided by 6. So each of the angles of a hexagon, regular hexagon, is going to equal 120. Now let's take a look at the exterior angles. When we're talking about exterior angles, we're talking about the angles that are outside of the polygon. Their sum is always going to equal 360. And we can find the measure of an exterior angle by subtracting it from 180, because exterior angles are always supplementary to the interior angle of a polygon. So what does that look like? Well, let's take a look at this triangle. And the first thing that we're going to do is find the exterior angles. So if I take 180 minus 79, I get the exterior angle of 101. If I take 180 minus 40, I get the exterior angle of 140. If I take 180 minus 61, I get the exterior angle of 119. So you'll notice that I have 3 linear pairs, 3 supplementary angle sets. So now I'm going to add 101 plus 140 plus 119, and you'll see that that equals 360. So anytime I have a polygon, my first step is to find the exterior angle measurements, and then I can sum those exterior angles, and they will always equal 360. So now you know how to work with interior and exterior angles of a polygon.